Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burns Arena. We want you to know that the senior graduates will be making their way into the arena in about 5 minutes. We kindly ask that as we announce the names, as we get through the graduates, through the PV, please refrain from any artificial noisemakers as we introduce their names, and let's wait till the very end when we celebrate. Once again, thank you for being here. The graduates will be making their way in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, for any of those of you that are making your way in and cannot find seats, the district has provided some overflow seating in the Cox Auditorium just west of Burns Arena if you're interested. Once again, that's overflow seating and viewing in the West Arena if anyone would like to take advantage of that. That's in the Cox Auditorium west of Burns Arena.
Graduates, you can please be seated. Fellow graduates, families, and friends, we welcome you to the commencement exercises for the Pineview High School class of 2017-2018. We thank you for your attendance and show of support at this ceremony, which marks the 35th commencement for Pineview High School. My name is Kate Hardman, and I am the president of the senior class. In keeping with tradition, I will conduct tonight's commencement. Before I begin the program, I would like to recognize the following special guests seated on the stand behind me and would ask them to stand briefly as their names are read. Larry Bergeson, Washington County School District Superintendent. Richard Holmes, Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education, Washington County School District. Steve Dunham, Washington County School District Communication and Public Relations Director. Lorraine Cox, Washington County School District School Board Member. Terry Hutchinson, Washington County School District School Board Member. Kelly Blake, Washington County School District School Board Member. Mike Meese, Principal of Pineview High School. And Cooper Madison, Pineview High School Student Body President. I would also like to recognize and thank Dixie State University for the use of these wonderful facilities. I am joined on the stand, I am joined on the stand by our fellow students representing the senior class presidency, the exec council, and two of our valedictorians who will be speaking today. In addition to these students, we welcome on the stand with us the faculty and staff of Pineview High School. We will begin today's commencement exercise with the singing of our national anthem. Pineview High School would like to thank the Pineview High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard for their participation in today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen and fellow graduates, please stand as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem by our senior trilogy members.
I am Maggie Morby, Senior Class Activities. Our student body president, Cooper Madison, will now introduce the State of Commencement theme. Following Cooper's remarks, the TV Bell Ringers Handbell Ensemble, under the direction of Mr. Robert Reimer, will perform Entrada Ensemble.
Class of 2018, congratulations. I can't believe this will be my last time saying this, but Pineview High School, how do you feel? Pineview High! I am honored to be standing here today among phenomenal faculty, bright, dynamic students, supportive family and friends, and a place where I call home. We survived the late nights, the early mornings, the homework deadlines, the tests, just so we could have the chance to be where we are today. But we didn't do it alone. We got to this point by doing exactly what we've done for the past 4 years, by doing it together. As a student council, we met all the way back in early June, settling in and accomplishing our first task, making a theme. We decided to go with a theme that promoted a school of respect, a school of honor, a school of tradition, and a school of selflessness. When all was said and done, our message simply read, "We are Pineview." This straightforward phrase isn't just made up of a mere 4 words. No, it's so much more than that. It symbolizes our identity as Panthers, that we are proud of who we are, that together we can do extraordinary things, and that everyone belongs and has a place at Pineview High School. An obvious example of this is the annual Mr. PVHS fundraiser, a fundraiser for a local family that has been hit hard with many challenges, medical expenses, and difficulties. This year, our candidates were Ray and Aiden Free, 2 small boys in our community recently diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Our goal as a school was to raise $10,000 for the Free family. Unfortunately, we became faced with many obstacles along the way, one being that we had to start a month behind our usual schedule. I became discouraged with myself, thinking we might not reach our original goal. However, all the students and the clubs stepped up, namely HOSA, NHS, cross country, choir, and so many more, and to my delightful surprise, we presented the Frees with a check for $13,399.72. Almost $3,500 more than our original goal. That is Pineview. Additionally, Pineview is blessed to have some of the greatest, most generous teachers in the world, one being Mrs. Paula Hawes. I had Mrs. Hawes as a junior in a tough math course. I found myself winding up in her room before school, after school, even during lunch, seeking additional assistance. And I was not the only one trying to do so. Mrs. Hawes never hesitated to help all those in her class, even if it meant spending a little longer in her classroom and away from her family than she had hoped. Another example that comes to mind is Coach David Holtz. A-Push can be a major reality check for many. I can honestly say there were many stress-related breakdowns involving that class. Coach Holt, however, taught that class with so much enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm carried on to us. He also taught us the importance of commitment, and several people in my class alone were able to overcome this challenge and pass their AP tests. He was one of my, if not my favorite teacher at PVHS. Other teachers are just so considerate and want to sincerely know their students. A few examples include Travis Roberts, Renee Martineau, Robert Reimer, Carrie Moody, Sonny Schuler, Brent Meekum, Kelly Thomas, and Dallin Hallows. And those are just some of the teachers I've had. Don't get me started on other wonderful examples around our school, including Tracy Anderson, Heath Papa, Kaylee Schoen, Coach Ray Hasna, Austin Clark, and so much more. The faculty and staff at Pineview are like no other. That is Pineview. There are so many great and marvelous things going on at Pineview High School and will continue to happen in the years to come. The choir program represented Pineview with the utmost class yet again this year. Some of their accomplishments include scoring 3 straight superior ratings at the state festival for the 3rd year in a row. Trilogy scored superiors at state, 1st place in the Madrigals division at the Shakespeare Festival, as well as winning the Kurt Bester High School Choir Scholarship Contest. Pineview also sent an incredible 16 entries to the State Solo and Ensemble Festival. Furthermore, one of my very good friends, Porter Christensen, a graduating senior at Pineview High, wrote, directed, produced, and acted in a short film about a man's life with autism, and promptly won the National PTA Reflections Contest in that division. Pineview also had 16 student athletes receive academic all-state honors this year, an award given to recognize those students who have excelled in the classroom as well as in athletic competition, not to mention the many more who receive academic all-region honors. Students, teachers, and parents piled into Pineview High night after night to cheer on their peers. Whether it was football, girls soccer, volleyball, the fall musical, or a handbell concert, you could see and feel the support from all around. New programs are also opening up at Pineview High, most notably a culinary arts program and the ever-growing handbells classes. Today, we recognize 23 valedictorians, shattering last year's total of 7. Oh yeah, our girls cross country, they won state again. Lastly, our beloved football team was able to rack up enough money for Liberty Griggs, a junior at PVHS diagnosed with Friedreich's ataxia, to live her dream to go to Australia. Our school continues to trend upwards, and I have no fear of it coming down anytime soon. That is Pineview. I ran for student council to do one thing, to help those around me have a positive high school experience. I never realized that in turn, my classmates would help me. During my sophomore year, I saw a newly transferred senior enter Pineview High School. He was the typical kid who sat alone at lunch, walked alone to class, and walked alone after school. As soon as I got the courage to introduce myself, I saw 2 seniors beat me to him, introducing themselves and inviting the new kid to lunch. The rest of that year, whenever I saw him, he always had someone by his side. Stuff like that is what I think I'm going to miss most about this school. This year, Pineview welcomed 25 new students throughout the school year. Moving to St. George when I was 9 years old, I myself understand how scary and intimidating it is to enter a new school and trying to find a place amongst your peers. When asked, how is Pineview High different from your old school as far as a unity standpoint, this is what some said. The unity at Pineview is absolutely outstanding. I came from a school where it was very cliquey and self-absorbed of the popularity groups and how much money you had, where Pineview was open and loving to everybody. Another stated, when you walk into Pineview, you see everybody. There are no circles with outsiders, and people greet you without even knowing exactly who you are. At Pineview, everyone comes together to make a difference. A new sophomore added, Pineview has been such an eye-opener for me, seeing that there are people that I can actually connect with and that I can belong with. I can trust and build a family with these guys. I've never felt out of place or worried when I transferred, and that's because everyone was very welcoming to me and open to me being here. Lastly, a senior transfer stated, I had never felt accepted at my old school, not once. It felt as if my teachers were only there for a paycheck rather than helping their students achieve their goals. I felt very discouraged about myself until I came to Pineview High this year. The teachers, students, and administration showed me so much love this year that I actually felt like I was important and able to accomplish the goals I had set for myself. I freaking love Pineview so much. Moving here my senior year was the best decision I could have made for myself. That is Pineview. Graduates, as we close this chapter of our lives, we open many more opportunities. Many of us will pursue collegiate degrees, while others directly enter the workforce, and some will begin to serve religious missions. As Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez said, no matter where life takes us, nothing can break us apart. Never forget your roots. Never forget the friendships you've made and the memories you received at Pineview High School. I love all of you like my family, because you are. Thanks for helping me live a lot of my dreams with the short time we had together. I can honestly say the years at Pineview were the best years of my life up to this point. Pineview was, is, and forever will be to me the greatest school you could possibly go to. Ask anybody here. My favorite quote this year came from Mr. Robert Reimer, and it is my one message I'd like to share with all of you, the class of 2018. Our job isn't to be the best in the world, it's to be the best for the world. Graduates, the world isn't going to know what hit them when the Pineview High School class of 2018 gets out there. Just being here today shows me that all of you are on the right path to do great things with your lives. And I know you'll make the world proud. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, PB Ringers. It is my pleasure to introduce two of our 23 valedictorians who will be speaking to us today. We will first hear from Madison Pay. Following Madison's talk, we will then hear from Riley Taylor. Before we hear from Madison and Riley, we would like to recognize all 23 of our class valedictorians and ask that they stand when their name is read. Marianne Atkinson, Rain Bear, Abby Benyon, Brinley Barrowman, Gabriel DeMille, Porter Dombrowski, JC Finch, Alex Hill, Carson Horsepool, Rebecca Hutchins, Taylor King, Caden Klein, Casey Larkin, Cooper Madison, Addison Mickelson, Jaden Millen, Claire Newby, Adam Pay, Madison Pay, Grant Polson, Makana Santiago, Sharice Snow, and Riley Taylor. Following the valedictory addresses, the Pineview High School Band, under the direction of Mr. Austin Clark, will play Take Off 2.
Going into 9th grade, I didn't particularly care what high school I went to. Back then, those 4 years, I knew that I would spend my high school years in one place, but it still didn't really matter to me where that was. And it's safe to say that changed pretty quickly. It changed when I showed up to sophomore orientation to find the student body president breakdancing at the assembly. And it changed when I got to watch Isabel Miller crowned homecoming queen. These little moments of spirit and diversity are what builds our pride in being Panthers bit by bit until it's the senior year homecoming game and you're standing there with your face painted, screaming at the top of your lungs all the cheers you know by heart, surrounded by the kind of family that you can only find with these people, with this class of 2018. High school is a community that's unique to this time in our lives, and it really is a special thing. But real talk for a second, we all know that cliques exist. We all know that there are groups in the halls that you never cross paths with. And to be honest, that's not completely a bad thing. We all have different high school experiences, different tracks we walk every day. For instance, you might not have set foot in the math hall your entire senior year, in which case I envy you. Or you might be like me and not know what most of those classrooms are across from the foods room. I've got Alvy's down and the rest is a mystery. But the beauty of today is that we're celebrating the uniqueness of our journeys in the exact same way. See, graduations of any kind really are one of life's rare equalizing moments. Regardless of our individual successes, our individual circumstances, hardships, celebrations, this success is all of ours. High school's hard, guys. Some of us have 5 a.m. practices or 10 p.m. practices. Some of us have 4 AP classes. Some of us have concerts and rehearsals. Some of us have multiple jobs, all on top of regular school. But through all of these add-ons, whatever they might be, whether it's mental illness or hard times at home or social anxiety, we got here. We all got here together. And I was going to make a High School Musical reference, but somebody stole that from me, so I'm going to continue. Anyway, I want to take a second to thank the people outside of this area right in front of me I want to thank the parents for nagging us about our bad habits and reminding us of our good qualities and nurturing us through all of this. I want to thank the siblings for pushing all of our buttons constantly, but still being there at the end of the day. And I want to thank these people behind me so much for everything they do. Administration and staff, you guys are the reason things stay up and running, and that does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Teachers, a lot of you have had a huge influence on my life, and I know that's true for a lot of us. So for every time a coach or conductor said, do it again, but better this time, and for every time Coach Holt pointed at that infuriating sign at the front of the room and said, prove it, these are the things that make us grow. And it's because of these things that we can learn lessons beyond the curriculum of our classes. In high school, we learned how to work. We learned how to work for things and work through things. And we learned that repetition, when done right, is a solid 80% of improvement. We learned that our voices matter, and if we can back ourselves up, we can create change in our world. This is where we started to learn what we're capable of. I say started to learn because fully knowing what you're capable of at 18 is impossible. We have a lot left to learn, but the upside of reaching the end of this particular chapter in our lives is that we get to determine the payout of it all. The past couple years have been full of big life decisions, choices that seem really weighted and permanent. And while these decisions are very important and deserve a lot of the attention they're given, I have a couple of wishes independent of those things for us all moving forward. The first is to engage. Find a way to connect with the people around you in real life ways that matter. Engage in your own story, and don't be afraid to take what the world has to offer because it's out there. Life is more than these sections bookended by big decisions. So find your fit, find whatever gives you that incandescent sense of belonging, and remember that you don't have to conform to anyone else's version of happiness. This life is yours. My last wish for all of us, no matter what we're choosing to do with the next few years, I've been avoiding the phrase the rest of our lives, it's just kind of dangerous. But anyway, my last wish is sink your teeth into this life, and whatever you do, do not let go. Thank you, Panthers, for an unforgettable 3 years.
Guys, I think I found the secret to life. Most of you have done it. A few of the graduates are taking their dear sweet time in doing it. I should say some names because I have a few, but I'll let them slide. Anyway, the secret is kissing. Well, a kiss at least. No, not something you do when you like someone. The acronym, KISS, which means keep it simple, stupid. Guys, life is coming, and to get through it, all we need to do is kiss, and I mean kiss a lot. Dr. Seuss said something important. You're off to great places, today's your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. But I think it's better said, you're off to great places, today's your day. Your kiss is waiting, so get on your way. So my farewell to you is go kiss somebody. Thank you.
I'm Addison Mickelson. I'm Senior Class Secretary, and it is my privilege to introduce and recognize this year's retiree, Ms. Nancy Ensley. All right, I have a bio about Ms. Ensley. All right. She was born and raised in the great state of Oregon during the time when it was still a great state. Now it's just a crazy state. She raised her children on a 26-acre farm outside of Portland, where she finished her master's and began teaching. She taught in inner city Portland for 13 years, where she taught special education, theater arts, language arts, and how to identify pot in the stocking of a sixth grader and the best spot to spray mace in the cafeteria full of middle schoolers. Seriously, teaching in Portland was a flat-out invigorating, if not life-threatening. Her husband finally had enough of the rain in the Northwest, so she moved to St. George, and she began teaching in Hurricane, where schools were safe and we didn't see a drop of rain. She began teaching at Pineview in 2004, according to Mike's secret file on her. Her time here has been both enjoyable and frustrating, but it got me up every morning thinking there was something new to learn. A bit sappy for sure, but she can't think of any other profession more rewarding, both professionally and financially. Thanks for the memories.
I am Jake MacArthur, Senior Class Vice President. I'm honored to introduce today's commencement speaker, Mr. Travis Roberts. Following the commencement address, members of the senior choir, under the direction of Abby Benyon, will perform Crossing the Bar. Mr. Roberts is one of our beloved teachers and coaches, and we feel so honored to have him be a part of Pineview. Please welcome Mr. Travis Roberts.
Thank you, Jake. And thank you, Kate, for making it a goal of yours to embarrass me in front of this many people. 23 years ago, I was where you guys are. If your last name starts with R, raise your hand. That's where I was. The first man I ever met was the man giving our commencement address. Dr. Craig Booth got up here and told us instructions about life. I remember only one. It was find a good newspaper and keep up on current events, and I failed at that. So what I'm saying is, if you don't listen to me, in 23 years you might be in my spot. So, thank you. I have 3 challenges I'm going to offer you today, and they're based on something I heard from a great friend of mine, who heard it from a former counselor, who heard it from, all the way back to a German psychologist named Dr. Adler. Human beings have 3 emotional needs. First is to belong, second is to be unique, and the third is to contribute in meaningful ways. Now, if I think about it, most of us are raised in belonging. There's that saying, it takes a village to raise a child. You had friends, you had family, you had neighbors, you had school, teachers and lunch ladies and all those people. You probably had a church group that helped raise you to get you here. And now for the last few years, you guys have been seeking that uniqueness. So I want to talk about, because I think it actually says, it goes to belong, to be unique, to belong again. I'm putting that in there, and to contribute in meaningful ways. So here are my 3 challenges. Number 1, follow your bliss. That means do what you love. I want to clarify, that doesn't mean always that it's going to be something you want to do or you feel like doing. You're going to have to look at your attributes, your aptitudes, the gifts that you have. Those are hints. Those are the things that you'll look at to find out what your bliss is. It's not going to be easy. It might be painful, and there will be things along the way that try to throw you off track, like others' expectations. There's always the temptation of fame and fortune, but you need to reject those things and become English teachers. But I promise you, like Joseph Campbell says, he says, follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. If you do what you love, your life will be full of joy. Number 2, join a community or 2 or 3. This is where you belong again. So you follow your bliss, you become this shining being of uniqueness, and then you're ready to find a place to be unique. I have a quote from Kurt Vonnegut. Now, he's known for his sense of humor, and there are some adult words here. You guys are adults. That's what commencement is. You're starting your adult life, but hopefully your parents will plug your siblings' ears. He says this: you should know that when a husband and a wife fight, it may seem to be about, here's the first adult word, money, or the second one, sex, or the third one, power. But what they're really yelling at each other about is loneliness. What they're really saying is, you're not enough people. He goes on to say, if you determine that that really is what they've been yelling at each other about, tell them to become more people for each other by joining a synthetic extended family, like the Hells Angels, perhaps, or the American Humanist Association with headquarters in Amherst, New York, or the nearest church. I think he's joking about the Hells Angels and the Humanist Society Association, but it gets to the point. We need to belong. Even those people without society want a society. Okay, so find a community. The third thing, contribute to that community. Find that community, bring your uniqueness, and let it be a gift to those that you're around. This morning we had a breakfast with faculty and staff, and there are 5 full-time faculty and staff that are leaving this year. We have Sergeant Thomas, we have Mrs. Valentine, we have Mrs. Schoen, we have Ms. Schuler, we have Mrs. Ensley. They got up and they said things, and they cried, and it was hard for them. The reason is they found a community and they contributed. They found a way to be useful to people around them. I hope most of you know how useful they are, and they've done wonderful things for you. So those are my 3 things. Follow your bliss, join a community, or 2 or 3, and contribute to that community. If you'll do those things, you will be happy in life. Finally, I have a little quote. Maybe I'll call it a teacher's blessing. I didn't write it, though. It comes from Bob Dylan, whose birthday is today. It's also my sister's birthday, but she didn't write any great songs, so I don't have any quotes from her, but happy birthday. He says this: may your hands always be busy, may your feet always be swift, may you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful, may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. I hope that you have an enthusiasm for life and that you will find ways to make life better for others. Thank you for listening to me, and congratulations.
Pineview High School's principal, Mr. Mike Meese, will now present the members of the 2018 senior class as candidates for a diploma to Terry Hutchinson of the Washington County School Board.
Good afternoon. It's so great to be with you. Before I say just a couple of things, and I promise you graduates, I'll be brief. I want to thank Mr. Kelly Blake, Ms. Lorene Cox, and Mr. Terry Hutchinson here representing our wonderful Washington County School Board. I want to give a big thank you to Superintendent Larry Bergeson and his assistant, Richard Holmes, for all their support. To their Executive Secretary, Mandy Peck, who helped set up all of these facilities for today's graduation. Behind me, I want to say a big thank you to the wonderful teachers and the staff at Pineview High School. Second to none anywhere in the world. I love you all, and thank you. I want to thank Mr. Randy Wyatt, Mr. Gary Higgins, and Officer Lynn Kester for all their support in the administrative offices, their loyalty and work. Very much appreciate them. To you parents and supporters here today, we filled Burns Arena again, and I thank you as parents and family members here to support these wonderful kids. As is mentioned by Cooper, Madison, Riley, and Mr. Roberts, they don't do it alone. And as a staff at Pineview High, we are grateful to all of you for your support of these wonderful graduates. So thank you to the parents and friends who are here today. They are amazing. And lastly, to you graduates, to the class of 2018. It's been wonderful. And before I go on with one thought, I've asked Devin to help me in the back a little bit, and I need your help in this. I think you'll pick up the cue once he starts this little music. I was driving home the other day, and I thought, this is a great way to start a little bit of comment. Now, you all will recognize this song, and you're welcome to chime in too. But I thought a great way to wake us up a little bit and get a little bit of what it feels to be good here at Pineview High. Okay, Devin, let's go. Okay. Yes. I thought to myself, I can't think of a better thing to say to describe our last 3 years with you. So good, and so good. And we never thought that good times could be so good, and I thank you for that. We had a lot of fun with this class as they've come through our school, and I'm so grateful for that. You knew how to work hard, you knew how to have fun, you knew how to take care of one another. And as I've said, from Cooper's commencement theme and all the wonderful things that we do for people and for each other at Pineview High, we're definitely a family. I just want to share one quote, and the quote comes from Mr. Adam DeWitt's journalism class, from the Panther Press that we get often from them. And it's from an article written by Philippa Lambert and a quote by Parker Dean. And this is what it says. Friday night football games, awkward assemblies, and dances are things we'll remember forever. One thing's for sure, though, you don't stop being part of the family just because you move away. Once a Panther, always a Panther. And so as you leave and go about your ways, please remember that you are always a Panther, and we hope that you'll never forget how good you were. Today, as a graduate, I want to encourage and challenge you to keep learning and to continue your education. Maintain a willingness to learn, to grow, and you're going to find there'll be many people placed in front of you. Learn from them, grow from them, and remain positive. You have been an example of service to all of us, and I am grateful to you all for that. Please continue to find ways to improve those around you. Make them better. Continue to lead and be an effective example to others who come around you. As a class, you have added to the wonderful legacy of Pineview High School. We love you, and we wish you the very best of luck. It is now my pleasure to present the Pineview High School graduating class of 2018 to Washington County School Board member, Mr. Terry Hutchinson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy day. This is going to be the shortest talk of my life. You know, I'm glad to be back with the Panther family. I've been a part of that family since my wife Janae came to work at Pineview as a secretary more than 20 years ago. She was with Principal David Broadhead, then Marshall Topham, Rick Palmer, and finally Mike Meese. And while she was here, she put on her wall pictures given to her by the students every year. It became a wall of love. We still have those pictures, and they are wonderful memories. After Janae came to Pineview, our other children came. Kristen, graduate of class 2001, Nate, 2002, Heather, 2006, Sam, 2010, and finally Cassidy K, class of 2018. You know, we used to joke Cass was a Panther before she was born, and that's really true. She grew up in this school. She loves everything about the school and its traditions. You know, when you all leave here, great things are going to happen to you. As a wise woman once said, you don't find the happy life, you create it. So I can't wait to see what you create of yours. I'm part of the Panther family. Many of these things that will happen to you are great, and yet all of you, no matter how successful you are, no matter how rich, no matter how famous, you'll find some challenges. Some of those challenges are going to be through your own actions and choices, and some of them will happen as a result of circumstances that are completely out of your control. And when that happens, and it will, you will be frustrated. It's going to be tough. But when that happens, remember, you may not be able to control everything that goes on around you, but you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude. You can control the effort and the work that you put into it and how you will get by. And if you do that, I can promise you, doors will open that you do not see or expect. You will be surprised that you'll be able to find ways to serve others and help others and live your life in real positive ways that are completely surprising to you. You know, all of this will happen as a result of your commitment to take something that's a challenge and turn it into something positive. So if you don't remember anything else today, I hope you remember that. I can't wait to see what you create of your lives as members of the Panther family. I am grateful to be part of that family. Now, let's do what we're here for today. Mr. Meese, on behalf of the Washington County School Board of Education, I accept the Pineview graduating class of 2018.
Will the first row please rise?
Kind of left. Yellow. Yeah, that's what. Caitlin Hope Hardman. Jacob Andrew MacArthur. Addison Mickelson. Maggie McNeil Morby. Cooper Jones Madison. Mitchell Rodney Wade. Dawn Haley Mead. Porter Laird Aiken. Dylan Joseph Moralia. Makanalahe Pearl Koma Ali'i Awei Wei Neo Kalani Komayala Mailiola Santiago. Rain Christian Bear. Kishan Patel. Madison Emily Pay. Riley Jarrett Taylor. McCall Adams. Taylor Adams. Shyla Ann Adamson. Joseph Michael Alfano. J.C. May Alfred. Riley Rockwell Allen. Saraven Allen. Emily Jane Alton. Brody Lynn Anderson. Axel Jesus Aparicio. Bernice Aparicio. Oscar Ernesto Arana Guevara. Kelvin Everardo Armenta. Zachary Sarkis Arcelanian. Antonio Robert Ashdown. Mary Ann Atkinson. Sherry Annette Matahum Ayag. Daniel Remington Barlow. Wyatt Daniel Barnett. Kenneth Douglas Barney. Braxton Kirk Barrett. Brianna Joey Barrow. Spencer Shalico Bassett. Carol Estella Bastidas. Cassidy Bailey Becker. Joshua Shelton Beckstrand. Spencer Paul Bell. Caden Evan Bench. Braxton Robert Bennett. Abby K. Benyon. Kaylee Jane Benson. Mason L. Bentley. William Clyde Bertram IV. Christopher Joseph Bird. Grace Aubrey Bird. Ramona Jada Bishop. Brennan James Bithell. Brianne Christine Blaisdell. Kyron Chris Blake. Ryan Ashley Blazer. Hannah Bowling. Brindley Barrowman. Haley Marie Brereington. Madison Carla Brereington. Hunter Joel Breimer. Kaylee Raquel Brinkerhoff. Brenda N. Brown. Catherine Lauren Brown. Trevor Jaden Brush. Daxton Paul Budge. Samantha Ann Birch. Micah J. Burke. Caitlin Janice Burrows. Ellie Ann Busher. Sadie Campbell. Laura Eileen Capoletti. Luis Angel Casas Pimienta. Aliyah Janae Kazir. Yoslin Cajotlina Chavarria Martinez. Jessica Nelani Chavez. Jackson Spencer Chepcurry. Stephanie Nicole Christensen. Whitney Ann Christensen. Sebastian Giovanni Cisneros. Anel Ruby Claro. Caroline Kelly Clements. Taylor Brandon Cleverly. Kalena Lee Clough. Noah Michael Cotiga. Isabella Kiara Comer. Kelvin Armando Condi. Tristan Calvin Cook. Carl Lee Cook. Lillian M. Copeland. Brinley Cherie Coburn. Clayton Kyle Cox. Jager W. Crosby. Brisbane Gage Crowther. Parker Gary Dean. Nathan Ryan DeFay. Gabriel Shane DeMille. Priscilla Dennett. Shadrach Todd Diaz. Nikel Janae Dinsmore. Porter Andrew Dombrowski. Kylie Diana Donovan. Luis Antonio Dorotero Hernandez. Samson Michael Doyle. Joshua Tyler Dressler. Riley James Duckworth. Brandon Wayne Dye. Nicholas Jacob English. Annabelle Penelope Ursig. Tabitha Anastasia Ursig. Samuel Espinoza. Emma Tyler Evans. Jacob Lance Farish. Kara Colleen Farnsworth. Drew Ellen Feltner. Marvin Alfredo Fernandez. Corbin Reed Ferris. Celeste Mastilio Fiame. Sawyer Allen Fields, J.C. Finch, Sierra Jeanette Finlinson, Daniel Christopher Finnegan, Caitlin Paige Flagmeyer, Enrique Job Flores, Jovan Christian Francis, Colby Ray Fulmer, Colby Ray Fulmer, Carla Gachus Sanchez, Caitlin Phoebe Gaffa, Mayra Esther Garcia, J. Arthur Garf, Amelia Goebel, Caitlin Ardiana Gomez, Paula Imelda Gonzalez, Casey Danny Goodwin, Kiana C. Goodwin, Elizabeth Wyona Gould, Tegan Cole Griffin, Morgan Elaine Grover, Wyatt K. Gutches, Diego Gutierrez, Stephen Tanner Hadlock, Callie Sean Hall, Logan Stephen Hall, Paige DeSteele Halls, Smith Thomas Halley, Lauren McKell Hancock, Cassandra Marie Harding, Hagan James Harward, Madison Lee Hayward, Alexandra Bess Heaton, Leslie Darian Hernandez, Alex Griffin Hill, Riley Aiden Hinks, Jerome Todd Hoffmeister, Sadie Lydia Holm, Adam Guy Holt, Carson Franklin Horsepool, Halen McKay Howard, Natalie Ann Hebner, Kason James Humphreys, Rebecca Rose Hutchins, Cassidy K. Hutchinson, Iceland Mackenzie Ionel, Ismerelda Irizaba, Chandra Ann Iverson, Cole Christine Iverson, Kaylee Iverson, Parker Allen Jayton, Ryan William Jimenez, Markel Jennings, Taylor Renee Jepson, Savannah Esther Johansson, Bailey Ann Johnson, Divin J. Johnson, Addison Jones, Andrea Morgan Jones. Carter Clayton Jones. Jack Patrick Jones. Olivia Lauren Jones. McKenna Elaine Jorgensen. Daniel Allen Judd. Madison Siutaisa Kalvaka. Taylor K. King. James Wyatt Kirshner. Caden Andrew Klein. Ty Robert Kohler. Alexander Lee Cruz. Tacey May Larkin. Kaylee Ann Larson. Brittany Amber Lee. Matthew Russell Levitt. Nicole Lindsay Lees. Tewila Uima Ialuna Nono Ilani Glenn Choi. Jessica Roxanne Lira. Elizabeth Marie Lloyd. Glendy Sarai Lopez. Brianna Christina Loya. Elise Anna Luke. Cade Lamar Lund. Carol Manzanares. Raider Martin. Taya Martin. Josue Antonio Martinez. Juan Miguel Martinez. Michael Andrew Mayer. Kelsey Brooke Mays. Sydney Ann MacArthur. Kobe David McCarroll. Anna Marie McFadden. Marissa K. McGuire. Kiernan Joseph McKenna. Reed Calvin McComber. Spencer Lewis McComber. Adriana C. Mendez. Toa Michaeli Meredith. Ryan Amber Miller. Jaden Adam Millen. Kayla J. Mitchell. Caden Scott Moore. J.C. Elmore. Martha Leticia Morales. Michael Charles Allen Moten Jr. Dylan Dakota Moulton. Jeremy Spencer Moyes. Lamine Jacob Mapungi. Kalel Paita Muae. Abby Nelson. Annie G. Nesbitt. Carter Mitchell Newby. Claire Newby. Brian Alexander Nilsson. Lucas Greg Nilsson. Anna Marie Nilsson. Hunter Chance Nilsson. Nicholas Thomas Norlander. Hannah Jean Obrey. John Patrick O'Donnell. Christian Kaniala Oili. Lucia Olivares. Caitlin Olson, Julian Robert Olson, Samuel Ty Olson, Crystal Ortega, Derek Jason Ortiz, Valerie Ortiz, Jordan Spencer Ott, Ethan James Park, Clay Anthony Patton, Corbin Michael Paxman, Adam David Pay, Bryce Hamilton Payne, Morgan Diane Pay, Maria Fernanda Pena, Cambria Michael Persinger, Austin Cole Peterson, Hayden Randy Pugh, Malia Elizabeth Pickett, Evelyn Pierce, Ian Kamayakan Pearson, Adriana Pineda, Brock Gregory Pollock, Kirsten Sheehan Porter, Presley Ann Porter, Braden Lee Polson, Grant Ryan Polson, Rachel Susan Pryor, Jasmine Marie Quiones, Jacqueline Quintero, Gerardo Ramirez, Brianna Luong Reed, Alea Donna Reimer, Christian Offa Kaleo Lonnie Reese, Emma Lee Remley, Dylan Thomas Renzelman, Alyssa K. Ricks, Carter Ryan Riddle, Cody Craig Riddle, Cassidy Marion Rivera, Cassandra Joe Robinson, Sean Edward Robinson, Alex Rodriguez, Nestor Steve Roldan, Deidre LaRae Romero, Trevor Michael Rosia, Jordan McKay Ross, Melissa Rowley, Brady Marcus Roosh, Jake Austin Rogerio, Jackie Lynn Sabiatis, Weston Mark Sampson, Autumn Jade Sawyer, Kayleen Eileen Schmutz, Robert Wade Schmutz, Mackenzie Saipisa Schwager, Kyler Lloyd Scott, Siausi Riley Sakona, Jade Lynn Shelley, Ashley Mae Shelton, Paris Janae Silva, Austin J. Smith, Arizona F. Smith Larman, Sharice Edith Snow, Juan Solis Huizar. Hiram Gary Sorensen. Sophia Ann Sule. Riker Paul Southwick. Sienna Cheyenne Sparrow. Rachel Marie Spencer. Caitlin Levi Sprouse. Devin Alexis St. Thomas. Colton Neal Staley. Dawson Matthew Staley. Tanner Wake Staley. Kai Jacob Stanley. Rachel Stapley. Andrew David Stender. Graydon Warner Stevens. Jessica Ann Stout. Jade Amber Strong. Trevor Michael Rosia. Kyler Jordan Stubbs. Kinsey Nikel Sullivan. Landon Dane Suman. Emily Patricia Seifus. Danielle Talbot. Alexandria Ruth Tamry. Raymond Tagimanu Taoa. Aiden Justice Taylor. Alexia Jeanette Taylor. Jesus Genario Telez. Tyson Jacob Terry. Madison Bailey Field. Zane Violet Thomas. Grace May Tice. Tomasi J. Tonga. Isaiah Chantal Torres. Colin Jacob Tudor. Jacoby M. Turlington. Gonzalo Vicente Vega. Abigail Venuti. Alexis Venuti. Tanisha Lynn Vera. Adrian Ulysses Vergara. Julian Villanueva. Ruby Vegas Pata. Kennedy Ann Marie Vogel. Mason Daniel Walker. Samantha Wardle. Sarah Elise Waslin. Mahanrai Sandoval Webb. James Stewart West Jr. Trinity Bree Wilcox. Jessica Willard. Colton Ray Willard. Damry Karen Williams. Elijah Merrill Williams. Preston Scott Wilstead. Jaden Shane Wench. Aaliyah Justine Wood. Kent Robbins Wood. Alexis Dawn Wright. Kelsey Wolfenstein. Jackson Yee Young. Jessica Morgan Young. Jonathan Thomas Zabriskie. Abraham Brandon Zavala.
Thank you for coming. This concludes the Pineview High School 2018 graduation commencement exercise. Parents, you may now come down and take pictures.